I love them all. They know me, they know my business, they know my children. And when I go in, it feels like home. Hi, I'm Paige Killian, and I'm passionate about helping busy moms of littles get organized in 3 simple steps. So here's today's organization motivation. Hey, thanks for joining me so much today for another Third Thursday video if you're watching here on YouTube, and another podcast episode if you're joining me on the Mom's Organization Motivation Podcast. I'm super excited today because I am going to be talking to you about how you can shop at the Container Store without letting all that stress and overwhelm creep in. I have been getting a lot of text messages and phone calls and just straight up photos of panicked faces over the recent years when friends of mine have heard something that I've said on a podcast episode or a YouTube video, and they have said, I'm going to the Container Store. And then they get there and they totally freak out because there are a million things that you could choose from there. It can be really stressful when you don't have, a specific area that you're even trying to organize in your house, and you just go because you think, oh, maybe I'll get inspiration. Or perhaps you do have an area, but you haven't really taken into consideration what your style is, what your needs for the space are going to be. And you just think, well, I'll head over to the Container Store and figure it out when I get there. Well, for me, that's really exciting because I never know what I'm going to find there that might be new. Also, I do know what I for sure will find there are helpful sales associates, great quality materials, and exactly what I usually need. So the great thing is that the Container Store often has exactly what you're going to need. And if they don't have exactly what you need, they'll have helpful associates who can help you with that. But if your stress and struggle is that you feel overwhelmed when you walk in, I have 3 simple steps that you can focus on that hopefully will make that so much easier. So let's get started with number 1. I always talk about my 3 E's, your essentials, enhancements, and extras. And if you are getting ready to go to the Container Store, it is essential to go with the plan. So number 1, go with the plan. Now, you don't have to have everything figured out, but it's really important if there are certain needs that you have that you know that you're going to be shopping for. So you might want to jot down a list that will keep you on track. You might want to, perhaps before you go, scroll through online and see what it is they have to offer, and then perhaps show up in person to see if that's exactly what you need, love, want. And then again, you can certainly ask somebody while you're there if you feel like you just need that extra confidence boost, that's the thing you should choose. So one of the things that I do when I go is I think, what do I need and what do my clients need? So that's usually part of my plan. Here are some things that I was in need of these days. And obviously the things that my clients need, they're already at their house, okay? And they're doing their job. So here's one of the things that I wanted to get. I love having chip clips that match. And what has happened over the years in my very organized pantry is that my chip clips they've all sort of fallen apart. So I have some that match, and then others that have made their way in that are too small to really use. They don't do the job, or maybe they had come from something else like an old clothespin or something, and there just weren't any matches. I love all white in my kitchen. I love having white and gray in my pantry. So I love these good grips chip clips that I got from the Container Store. So I have a pack of 4, and I know that those will be super helpful because I don't usually keep a ton of open chips or crackers in my chip and cracker basket because I really like to encourage my kiddos to eat what's already there, or, well, let's be real, the husband too. Let's eat what's already there and what's already open. And then once we're finished with that, then we can open the next thing. So 4 chip clips should be great for me right now. If not, I know where to find more. The next thing I was in search of, because I went with a plan, is not only for me, but also for my clients. I want to make sure I arrive with this in hand because I've had some before and I just ran out because I've used them. So that's a good sign, right? We know we want them if we're using them all the time. And that is this Adhesive Professional Strength spray because I am constantly taking tags off of new items for my clients and occasionally taking tags, sticky adhesive tags off of things that I'm purchasing in my home as well. So I love this one. It's called Take Off Adhesive Remover. And again, it's professional strength. I'm a professional, but even if you're not, this is going to be helpful for you. And I went an extra step further and I want to call it Joie. I believe that is how you say this brand with my Southern accent. I think that's how you say it. This is a tag scraper. So I have this one. It came in red. I do love a good pop of red every now and then amongst my black and white. And so when I saw this one, I was like, yes, that's what I want. So I got the red one. It has this great little circle opening. So if I wanted to string it up and hang it on like a carabiner or something on my pocket or put it in my tool belt or just have this in my car in a bag, it's nice and small, super compact, sleek design, and it's sharp. So it is absolutely going to do the job when you got to scrape off all of those tags that are making you crazy. So this is something awesome to have if you find yourself constantly needing to remove sticky adhesive things. Grab yourself a Joie scraper. Now, what if it's not called that? I have no idea. Just go look it up. I'll spell it Joie. Maybe it's called joy, like a little spark joy moment. It brings me joy. That's for sure. All right. The next thing is that in my kitchen, again, with the white, I have a very organized junk drawer. And actually, if you haven't heard the episode or seen the YouTube video about an unjunky junk drawer, you might want to check that out. I wanted to get a new pair of scissors because I was finding that sometimes the pair of big scissors that I have in my kitchen, they get dirty. And so I pop them apart and I stick them in my dishwasher to be properly clean. So I wanted to get another pair. I found this great brand called Poppin' at the Container Store in these all white scissors. I think they're beautiful. I love the design. I cannot wait to use these. And I wanted to go ahead and show you as well. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, all my podcast people, head over to the YouTube channel so you can see these. I love these containers, the bendable ones that I have gotten and shared on the Unjunky Junk Drawer episode and YouTube video. I love these that I've gotten from Target. And so this particular long skinny one, I use in my Unjunky Junk Drawer in the kitchen for my scissors and my hole punches. And also I have a pair of my little kid-friendly scissors with the rounded edge, so my Duke can still use those. So this is where the new white scissors are going to go. I'm very, very excited about that. It's going to look lovely in my Unjunky junk drawer in my kitchen. So if you are going anywhere, in a car, on a plane, I got to tell you about this new thing that I just discovered in the Container Store travel section. I had not seen these before and I love them. And I actually got them as a surprise for my kiddos because we're going to be doing both this summer. We're always going to Tennessee in the summertime. We're going to go there on a plane. And then we're actually going to do a little mini road trip to see a friend of mine who just had a baby. And we're going to get to see our cousins on the way as well. So it's going to be a jam-packed fun summer. And I got one of these for each of my kids. I'm actually feeling a little envious and I might have to go back and get myself one. But this is the knapsack blanket and pillow from Lug, L-U-G. That's the brand that I found in the travel section at the Container Store. So this is super soft and cozy. I love that it's dark gray. It's a strap that's on the back. And so you can easily, if you have a suitcase that you're wheeling through and you have the little thing that you pop up on the top that you're holding, the handle, you can just slide this right down over the top. It's also soft and compact enough that you can put it into a suitcase as well. So I love the small comfy design. And I thought, well, wait a minute, how is that? You can only use the pillow or the blanket at once, right? Because if you unzip it, you just unzip it on the side, then you take the blanket out. Well, then you can't use it as a pillow because all the stuffing came out of it. Well, when I opened it, I didn't even realize this when I bought it. When I opened it, I realized super soft and cozy blanket comes out and it's got this button front pouch, a little pocket on the front. And when I opened it up, I realized it has this white plastic inflatable pillow on the inside. So what's super exciting about this, and you better believe I'm going to write my children's names on it so they're not, putting their mouth to inflate it on the wrong pillow, So we'll put a little name tag for Isabel on one, a little name tag for Duke on the other. And that is just going to be one more awesome extra thing that's going to act like an activity when you are traveling with kids. They have an opportunity to inflate their pillow if they're old enough. Obviously, you'll do it for them if not. But that's what's super cool. So that's going to be really fun for them whenever they start getting sleepy, or maybe even before they start getting sleepy. Maybe that's the time. Have them just blow into it, inflate it, close it up, and then you slide this insert back into what looks like the pillow to begin with the zipper pouch. You just pop it in, and then you've got the pillow and the cozy blanket. So that is a win. My children are so excited about it. Like I said, I got one for each of them. They were there shopping with me and they were super helpful. Number two, my enhancement when shopping at the Container Store is to make sure that you are going with measurements or photos of what you need in that particular space. So measurements are great because if you head over to the Container Store and you start buying stuff and you think you know what size it is, when you get back home, it might not fit. So I'm not going to harp on that too much. It's pretty obvious. If you get a chance to measure stuff before you go, definitely do that. You will not regret having those measurements on hand. And I mentioned photos. If you already have, maybe you did Pinterest, or maybe you looked at the Container Store website before, having those photos on hand are great. So again, you stay focused, you know what you came for. Or you could actually have photos of the space that what you are searching for, what you're shopping for, is going to go in. So that way, whenever you're there and you're in the aisles and you're looking at the things, you can take a look back. Okay, let me see that space one more time as if I'm standing in front of it. Let me see, do we think this is going to work? Do we think this is going to look good? That's super helpful for you too. So you're not feeling overwhelmed like, is this the right one? Should I get this one? Should I get that? Sometimes those photos that you have on hand are really going to be helpful for you as well. With that in mind, I want to show you another thing that I got actually for my Duke. So some of you maybe have heard recently, I was talking on a podcast episode about the dead zone. And I talked about how in my dead zone, which is beside my bed in my room, I have a bunch of books that are kind of lingering because Duke is doing different book AR levels right now. And so when he is reading certain books, I have them in my room so that he can grab one and we can read it there together. And I can check and make sure on the app that he's got like the right AR book and all that kind of stuff. And so I started turning my attention a lot more to a place in his room. It's actually in his closet. It's a 3-tiered shelf, and it's where he keeps some of his other books. And on top of that shelf, I have just noticed that it has started to get overrun with little tiny collectibles that he loves. And so I wanted to make sure that he had a space that he could put those things in there so they didn't look like a mess, but they were easily accessible for him. So I went with my photo of that space with the measurements, and I went with a plan. And I got to the Container Store and I found these containers. They are acrylic, so they're nice and sturdy. I checked the edges because sometimes when you get acrylic things, the edges can be really sharp. So I did not want to have that for my Duke because I didn't want it to scratch him. The great thing about these containers, well, there's a few great things about them. First of all, they're clear, so he can see through them. Second of all, they right on the edges, they don't have a sharp edge. They have a bit of a flattened area. It's smooth. So just trust me on that. And the cool thing about these additionally is that I got a second one because they're stackable. So you can see they just pop right into place. That way now he has 6 different dividers so that he can start to group like categories. So in one, it can be all of his change. In another one, it can be all of these little, he has these little like, I want to call them like finger puppets, but they're these little things that you put on your finger and then they light up. And then he has these other things that are Pokemon related. I don't know what they are. They're like chips. They're like plastic circles to go along with his lovely Pokemon card collection. He's super obsessed with that. And then I also just wanted to have a couple of extra ones that were empty because inevitably he's going to come home with new collectibles. All right. So I cannot wait to show him these. I'm actually going to hold off until his birthday when we get back from our summer travels. And I'm going to give him these. And I'm really excited about it because when he sees them, he's probably going to be like, oh, goodness, my mom, the organizer, has gotten me containers. What in the world am I supposed to do with those? He's very sweet, though. So he'll probably be like, oh, Mom, thanks so much. I do want to kind of delay telling him what it is just to see if he has any clue what he's going to use these things for. But what I will say is that then I'm going to take him upstairs and just say, I know these things are really important to you, and I wanted to give you some containers to organize them. And then I'm going to just step back and let him do his thing. And I think he's going to be super excited about it. And number 3, your extra is going to be go with a friend. Shop with a friend. That is super fun to be able to go shopping with a friend. Now, if you don't have any friends who are able to go at that time that you need to go, make friends with the associates. I love them all. They know me, they know my business, they know my children. And when I go in, it feels like home. They are very willing to help me out. If you get a chance to go with a friend, though, it's so much fun because you can keep each other on task, but then sometimes you can linger in other aisles or find new things and talk about how it would be fun to use those as well in your home when getting organized. So hopefully these 3 steps will help you feeling more confident when you walk into the Container Store or any store for that matter, not overwhelmed, and help you get exactly what you need so that you will feel much more organized when you get home with them. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching this video. For more resources to organize and style your busy life in 3 simple steps, head over to everythingwithstyle.com and connect with me on Instagram at everythingwithstylemom. Don't forget to check out the Mom's Organization Motivation podcast over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of your favorite platforms. And if you loved this video, it would make me so happy if you would subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and happy organizing.